Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another show. We are going to be looking at Rocker up here in the top right side of the map in the green. An up-and-coming North American cheeser from the ladder, a player who is one of the most all-in or greedy players, depending on the given day and what his opponent expects from him. And he is, of course, going to be a big underdog because he is facing off up against none other than Creator, who recently made it to the GSL Grand Finals, probably gave Rogue the best run for his money that Rogue has had in a long time. Ended up losing 2-4, but still second place in GSL after 10 years of, not really being able to return to that initial heights he had in his career way back when. But, that's a forge. That is a forge. Okay, so Rocker's going to go for his classic cannon rush. He's a big fan of, sometimes he'll fake a cannon rush and go Nexus first. But Creator, he is a pro gamer, and I've been talking for ages about how pro gamers kind of suck at defending cannon rushes. They always underestimate it. Let's see if Creator can handle this. This is, by the way, a best of 3. This is from the ESL NA Weekly Cup. First pylon there, and there's a few scary spots you got to watch out for a cannon getting involved in there. Cannons can go down here as well, and they could wall that in with another couple pylons. This is also Glittering Ashes, so there's actually a very nasty spot right here, and even though Creator very quickly pulls probes, oh man, this is why if they're cannon rushing you, you've got to respect it so hard. So he gets in there, he gets this 3 pylon wall off, and this is a brutal position. This is a spectacular cannon rush. He had another probe, so if this got blocked, he would have been able to start cannoning down there, but instead, check it out, he can build a cannon. Oh, the positioning on this cannon is so brutal. Okay, let me explain why. So, not only can he fit 2 extra pylons to block it off, so these probes will never get at it from the bottom, but even on the top, this pylon only has 2 probes attacking it, and this pylon here, it's 1 space recess. So he can drop a pylon the moment that dies, and he drops a pylon 1 space back from the front, so there's no time for Creator to move his probes forward and actually block that off, and that's going to buy enough time for this cannon to finish. The Zealot is there working on it. Creator, I don't think he chronoed the Zealot, so maybe the Zealot could have been a little faster, but more cannons are coming down on the south side as well now, and that cannon is doing so much damage. There's only enough surface area for 2 units to attack the cannon at a time, and that is not good for Creator. It is going to take so long for these probes. Finally, another pylon goes down, but still only 3 probes attacking at the time, and you can see the cannon is just getting devastating damage, not to mention the other 2 cannons are going to finish up. This is just going to be a straight up kill move. I said Koreans suck at defending cannon rushes. I gotta say, I have to admit though, this is not one which I can rant too much about, because check this out, he actually pulled probes. He had a probe following this guy as well. I do think as this finished, he needed to make sure he moved a probe there and there, but this just happens to be a brutal position on this map where you can get both a 3 pylon full wall off with very limited surface area because the minerals blocks a lot of the surface, but also you've got space to not only build a cannon, but then build a second layer of pylons behind that. It's just a super brutal spot that is specific to Glittering Ashes. I gotta say, if you've played enough North American ladder like me, you've died to this before and you've learned your lesson very recently, but Creator apparently hasn't just yet. Game 1 goes to Rocker. Alright, so he takes the first map there, but now he'll definitely have his opponent's attention. It's a best of 3, so Rocker needs 2 wins, and we're going into Hardwire. So no doubt Creator's going to be on high alert, and I don't think there's any spot like that where you can wall off behind the mineral line on this map. There is a nasty spot down here where you can wall off with some pylons and fit some cannons in. Oh my god, he's going for the pylon behind the mineral line again, so I think Rocker's going to try round 2. Now, keep in mind, guys, Rocker, just super powerful player. He's always in the top 16 on the North American ladder, but nothing like a pro player. Someone like Creator, who's been competing back in Prime, Jin Air, and all sorts of different teams over the years. Like, Creator has been just a full-time pro gamer dedicated to being one of the best in the world for the last 12 years, basically, at least 11 years since the very early days of StarCraft 2, but he's going to see the second probe. That should immediately tell him he's getting cannon rushed. So Creator, he's going for a gateway in the back, kind of curious. I think he's saying, look, if you cannon down here, I'm not going to have my gateway exposed at the front where it can get taken down, and Rocker hasn't even run up the ramp to see this. Creator's going to pull a couple of probes, but Creator messes up with his probe in the mineral line. He does lose that one. Rocker's got the pylon wall off at the front. Is this enough, though? My question is, I don't think... Can Creator stop this? Okay, he's going to pull a lot of probes now, but he pulled them kind of late. I really feel if you're going to pull this many probes, you should pull them immediately. Creator being a little indecisive here. Rocker, he can definitely throw down another cannon right now. If he just throws down another cannon, then this is definitely going up. Creator with a bizarre response. Rocker, build a pylon or a cannon. What are you doing, buddy? Rocker had plenty of money. He doesn't put down the pylon or the cannon. This is an objectively terrible response from Creator to pull this many probes. It makes no sense, but Rocker massively screws up. For some reason, he just wasn't paying attention. He didn't build an extra pylon or cannon there. This cannon would have killed every single probe, or even if he built another cannon, it could have been well finished. He could have done so much damage, but now he's only got one probe deep in the red, and the moment that probe's dead, I mean, it's over. There's already a Zealot on him. Now back to mining for Creator. The Cybercore goes down. I gotta say though, why make it so hard for yourself? Even now, he's letting him build cannons and a wall off on the low ground. Why wouldn't you just leave a few probes down here? Creator making this very difficult for himself, and this really, I think, speaks to what I'm talking about when I complain about pros not being that expert at defending it. I'll rewind and show you guys how he could have made his life so much simpler here. And look at this, he's even gonna let him wall off on the high ground. I don't know if this really matters. This is so desperate. He doesn't even have enough money to build the cannon. There we go, cancels the pylon, gets a cannon started, but there's already so many probes on it. The cannon on the low ground gets canceled as well. He's gonna maybe try and build some more. Wait, leave a probe! Creator, leave a probe! Why would you not leave a probe? I mean, Creator, oh my god, why is Creator making this so difficult for himself? He just refuses to block off the very crucial areas there. Very basic mistakes from Creator on this one. These cannons will go up. I don't think it matters because there's already a Stalker out. So there's no way to get high ground vision here as Rocker. These cannons can just get picked away from the high ground by the Stalker. Not to mention the Zealots might even kill them all before they finish. Zealots do so much damage. Rocker, he's trying to go for a gateway and Chrono probes behind it, but he is so far behind in this game. Cancels the last cannons and it will go down. I mean, Creator, man, I don't know. Like, the thing is, if you've ever played against the real veteran cannon rushers, you know that round 2, round 3, round 4, if you drop your guard, can actually take you out with these cannon rushes. So very, very greedy with the way Creator responded, and he opened up some possibilities there. But I think it all comes back to the start with, I can't believe Rocker missed that pylon. This could have been a 2-0, or maybe not an instant win, but he would have forced Creator to just pull his probes back and then go into Stalkers and from the high ground. And since Creator's Cybercore was not very early and he pulled so many off mining, he would have been in a tough position there. So definitely a nasty way of it. Now, he's going to try and get cannons up in home, but it looks like he's misjudged the timing. Desperately trying to secure an expansion with cannons, batteries. The Stalkers and the Zealots going to take this out. That's going to be it. GG. All right, we're going into game 3, and he's done the exact same thing twice in a row. Is he crazy enough to try it for a third time? Maybe not. Looks like he might be going for a proxy gate. He's sending this probe across the map very, very early. Is Rocker. We're on Berlingrad. Pretty short rush distance here. Creator in the top left. I don't actually know all the cannon spots since I haven't myself been doing cannon rushes in a long time, but Creator, what is this pylon positioning? It looks like he wants to build his own buildings in the areas where the cannons are trying to go as some sort of like 300 IQ response. So he's like, well, if I build my gate here, you can't build a cannon there. But he already sees a probe coming in. There is once again pylon behind the mineral line, and he builds a gateway on the low ground. The thing is, guys, doesn't that just create a choke point? Couldn't Rocker just build cannons in here and actually use this as part of his own wall off potentially? Forge is on the way. He's sending a second probe across the map as well. He builds a pylon here on the high ground. Okay, now this is really obvious to defend. Creator, you know what's going on. You've got to leave at least one probe down here patrolling because this pylon, that's a scary area. He also could wall off here. Only having 2 probes chasing that probe and no probe on the low ground. Creator, what are you doing? This is 101 of defending cannon rushes. Guys, this is what I rant about all the time. Pro gamers just have no respect for cannon rushes. He's pulling more probes, but he's not blocking the obvious area where he's going to wall it off. What are you doing, Creator? Rocker walks in, super obvious. This was the only thing he was ever going to be doing here. Creator isn't even pulling workers to the low ground right now. He's so slow to react. It's the 3rd game in a row. There are no excuses for having your guard down here. He will be able to pop out a Zealot on the inside and damage one of the cannons, but I don't know, these cannons are already almost finished. The pylons are going to finish up. Those 2 cannons will be up and ready to go. The probe in the main is still surviving. Creator, his gateway is down there. It's in jeopardy. And as long as Rocker can get a pylon up on the high ground, that's going to give him high ground vision to depower that gateway. The Zealot won't even get a single cannon kill. Oh my lord, and even some of the probes going down here. Rocker hasn't lost a single unit. Creator's gonna have his gateway depowered. He lost the Zealot as well. Apparently the Zealot did get killed by that last cannon shot. That's gonna get depowered. He cancels the Zealot. He's trying to build his own forge up here. What was this gateway placement and what was this defense? That was appallingly bad. If you guys want more details than that, I mean, just go back and look at my old Pig Daily Cannon Rush episode where me and Printf talked It's separated into 3 parts here on my YouTube channel. There's links down below if you guys want to check it out. We talked about how to execute masterful cannon rushes, how to defend them, and the first thing and the fundamental thing you always look for when you see an enemy pylon with a cannon rush, if we just pause here, is you imagine it's got a power field like this, and you think, what terrain can they use to kind of like wall off? And you're like, okay, like if he builds like a cannon here, he could like wall off with some pylons, right? Or cannon here and then put 2 pylons in front of it. Likewise, you could go a pylon there and maybe even fit a gateway in front of it or something like that. You got to keep your eye out for those natural little areas where they can wall off. And, you know, number one, building the gateway here just seems super random. But why would you not just leave a probe patrolling down here? Maybe even 2. I think Creator thought he was being faked out or something like that, but to not leave a worker down there is just an absolute travesty. It's always the second probe coming in that is the one that actually ends up being the scary one. And to see just how unaware Creator was, I mean, we watched this from his vision. He sees that there's no gas there. He's like, oh, okay, he's microing. He looks down here and he sees these cannons, but it's just so slow for him to pull these probes down. I can't believe how caught with his pants down he was. 3rd game in a row, Rocker knocks the GSL champion out of the ESL NA ESL Pro Tour weekly tournament. What an absolute travesty. Well played, Rocker. Masterful cannon rushes. But let's be real here. Creator showing something I've been complaining about for a long time, just not good cannon defense. Alright guys, well that was a really short series, so why end it there? It turns out that in the very next round, Rocker has actually gone and faced off against none other than Gumiho in the same tournament. And let's see, does he just cannon rush every single game again? What the heck has he got in store for us? And let's see if Gumiho can show some higher level defense than Creator. I'm a little bit worried personally because for Rocker, that is, because Terran is simply the strongest race versus Cannon Rush. Number one, SCVs beat Probes in a fight. They've got 5 extra hit points. Similar to Drone versus Probe, because of Drones instantly regenerating, Drones also beat Probes. But you've also got the fact that you get Marines out. They build faster than Zealots, faster than any of the other basic units, and their range. So you can get out early Marines, and even if they've got a cannon building behind some pylons, you can shoot over that and gun it down. You've got a bunker as well that you can build very early on. So I feel like Terran has a lot of tools at their disposal that are fantastic, but it looks like Rocker not going to open with the cannon rush. So we're not going to get to see, at least in this game, oh, he's fake cannon rushing. He's fake cannon rushing. He says, I just eliminated someone with a cannon rush. I bet Gumiho knows. Creator might even be friends with him, might have told him. 0 response, guys. Remember what we talked about? You should be pulling an SCV to here. Gumiho has no scouting. He doesn't know if it's a cannon rush or not. He's only got the 1 SCV there. He could easily have walled off this area and cannon rushed. And Gumiho would have had no response. So 0 respect from Gumiho there. Doesn't respect it at all. Not even pulling a single SCV. And the thing is, if you pull an SCV for 15 seconds, they cancel the pylon. What do you lose, guys? 15 minerals, 20 minerals of mining at most. Almost nothing. Now, Gumiho does, of course, wall off now. He's got the double gas up. He's doing a kind of 1 base opening. Maybe that's part of why he says, oh, I don't need to respond because I'm doing a 1 base opening anyway. I'm not expanding. I'm strong versus cannon rush. Totally wrong assessment. For anyone who's like, oh, he's going to have a quick factory anyway. Guys, if there's cannons finishing in range of your mineral line, having a factory starting at a minute 45 is not early enough to stop that. You need to defend cannon rushes getting up inside your base. So I got to say, I think Rocker here kind of jumped the gun, said, hey, let's assume my next opponent isn't going to be as bad as my previous one at defending cannon rushes. Gumiho, though, so far, in my mind, as an impartial expert observer, I'm going to go ahead and say Gumiho basically just showed that he is super exposed to it, and I really want to see Rocker in the next game just cannon rush him, because from Gumiho's response, 0 respect for it, 0 adjustment, probably can't deal with it. So Rocker's going to go for a pylon there. He doesn't actually need a pylon yet. He's already got 2 of them, but he just wants to stop the Reaper from jumping in there. It can still jump up this ledge, though. Second gateway goes down on the natural. That's a Rocker special 2-gate with no tech, something he does like to do. Stalker will move to the front and start shooting down the Reaper. Command Center on the high ground is going up, so this is kind of like a TVT style opening here for Gumiho. Seeing such a quick second gateway, I feel like you have to know that the tech is delayed. So that gateway, it's a little bit of a giveaway here for Rocker, who's now building a shield battery. He's not probing right now. Uh-oh, Rocker, he's going for a 3rd gateway as well. Rocker missing probe production this early, desperately needs to start chrono boosting probes though. His economy, guys, you're meant to be like quite far ahead on the workers early on in PvT, and yet you can see here that Rocker is, there we go. Now he's going to start chronoing those probes. He's got to be careful because this is such a passive situation. Now, obviously, against a 1 base player, I think he was worried about getting the wall off so Hellions can't run in. but only one Stalker, one Sentry, and he's actually going to be facing off against what is reacted Widowmine drop and an Armory. So those are going to be invisible Widowmines. He's going for a quick Forge. What is this build order? I've told you guys that Rocker is known for being super greedy, but once again, he's not probing. There's big gaps in his probe production. Both Nexi sitting idle there for a moment. Does start it up. Forge can kind of work really well here because you can just build a cannon in each mineral line and it'll reveal the Widowmines. That works amazing, but if you're playing a top tier opponent like Gumiho, he's got 2 Widowmines coming in, 4 Marines. He can always, like, if you've got a cannon in the middle, he can always, like, burrow the Widowmine off to the side, just out of range, or even put it in between the bases. And you don't have any mobile detection, so it could definitely be a little hard for him to deal with. Twilight Council's on the way. He's actually building cannons right now. He didn't even see the armory, but he saw the reacted factory. That's all Rocker needs to know. Rocker, he's up 12 workers right, no, 8 workers right now, 8 or 9 workers, but here we go, it's coming in. The Reaper will go down instantly, and a very quick pull on the probe. So good defense so far, pulls the probe back to take that one, but he's got to watch out in the main base. Oh my god, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Okay, the Widowmine does burrow, unburrow. Can those Marines kill the cannon? If they can kill the cannon, that would be massive. Where's the rest of the units? They're all in the natural for some reason. Why didn't they get up here? Oh, a very slow reaction by Rocker. He loses the cannon, has to rebuild it. And because that's up against the minerals, it's a little uncomfortable as well. He's lost a massive amount of mining time. He's not probing during it as well. So I think this is a big win for Gumiho, who finds a whole lot of damage against a guy who doesn't really have that big of an economic growth already. Now, this is going to struggle because there is a cannon right there. But, oh, he's just going to drop right on top. Rocker with a quick pull, though. 4 Widowmines there. Does spread backwards a little bit. And one of the Widowmines goes down. The other 3, though. Look at this one I'm talking about. He can get in between the bases. Oh no, Rocker's getting isolated from his own mineral line. He needs to just send a few probes in. He's going to try and hallucinate a Phoenix. I would have loved to see a hallucinated probes because you can hallucinate multiple there. Oh, he's going to lose a Stalker as well. He's now starting +1 armor, but this just feels like Rocker is floundering. And Gumiho, on the other hand, he's got 3 racks up. Raven's on the way, building tank bio behind this. And up against a 2-base Protoss, Rocker's going to have a tough time. He needs that 3rd base started yesterday. As I say it, look at that. Gumiho spots him going for the 3rd. And he's actually going to unload over here and deny that one, at least for a moment. The Widowmine burrows, does go down. If he can get the probe, though, it's going to annoy Rocker quite a bit. And he gets it. Good focus fire. That probe just goes careening off to the surface of the ocean here on 2,000 atmospheres. This is looking really bad for Rocker economically at this point. You might be like, oh, he's still up in workers, but the thing is, he doesn't really have any great tech. He's just going charge zealots. He's only got 3 gateways. It's 6 minutes in the game. If you're playing just zealots, you should already have a 3rd base finished by now, some probes on it, and have 8 gateways up. If not finished, at least halfway produced, right? So the problem is he's just got no production. He doesn't have a big economy right now either. He's going to have to keep on transferring his probes over here, probably cut probes, and just get that gateway explosion going. He's got gases on the way, and a robo does Rocker, but he's quite far behind in the standard game, and I think we see that, you know, Rocker has some of the strangest PvT out there. I personally just cannot beat it. Very, very, very rarely. You know, he's really just weird in the way he plays. It's unlike other Protoss players, but I think maybe he's overthinking things a little bit in this game. Feels to me like, I don't know, maybe he's just, he's playing a little bit slow or something like that. I mean, the Widowmines did so much damage, so he just doesn't have much money. He's got a few Zealots. It's a big army arriving, stim shields, and +1 attack. Well, +1's just started. Did he cancel that and restart that, maybe? I'm not sure why that +1 is so delayed, but Combat Shields is almost done. He doesn't have that many Marines, but with a Raven, 2 tanks, a couple Widowmines. Oof, and the Gateway Explosion, it's coming down now, but it's not there just yet. Tanks are going to move forward, and oh no, the Gateway Explosion is literally in range of this low-ground army. So he's already trying to get rid of some pylons. He can start shelling these units. Oh, the Zealots come in, but there's only 3 or 4 Zealots. Not very many of them. The Stim Marines are smashing it. Their combat shields have kicked in, and these sentries getting banged down as well. 1 sentry falls, another sentry falls. I mean, if Gumiho wants, he could just Stim in there, but of course, battery overcharge, the potentiality of that could cause him a lot of issues. He's going to drop on the high ground. Auto turrets as well as the tank shot, blasting those Stalkers out of there. And Gumiho just outclassing his opponent in a standard game. I was saying you got to cheese in game 2 after the way Gumiho disrespected you. I think this game here especially shows us that, you know, Rocker really should, he really should definitely cheese the next game. Go all out. I think he can play a much better macro game than this as well. This one just did not go his way. The tank shelling him from the low ground. Raven could drop another auto turret, but he doesn't even need to. The bio is just hammering him. There's no battery here in the main. He's trying to fall back. Remember, these Stalkers do not have blink. And that's going to be that, man. I mean, this is only half of Gumiho's army. Another army is arriving right now. His tanks are starting to inch forward. He's utilizing this ledge like an absolute beast. More gateways trying to build over on that base. But it doesn't matter how many gateways you build. You've already lost 4 or 5 of them. And you just don't have the money to keep up at this point. Battery overcharge goes in, but the wall off. Oh, bam! The Widow Mine hits. The wall off used against a Rocker, and he gets smashed in game 1. All right, well, you've been cheesed in the previous game. Or you haven't cheesed, sorry, but you've been destroyed in the previous game. It's got to be time to do something aggressive. There we go. Pylon behind the mineral line, trademark here, because if there is a Reaper that comes across after the cannon rush, he likes to be able to build a cannon smack bang in the middle of the mineral line. That's why we do like that pylon near the Nexus, so that you can't really be breached. Gumiho, he showed very little respect in the previous game. Oh, he's going proxy racks, and it looks like his SCV and the Pro both just missed seeing each other. He's actually going to build a forward barrack, so this game's going to get very messy. He's going to be going for some sort of Reaper aggression, jumping in early while getting cannon rush. Now, in this scenario, you still want to pull SCVs and shut down the cannon rush, and the Reaper is just a little bonus. Because if you don't shut this going down with the SCVs, the cannons are going to hit you and cripple you way harder than a single Reaper is going to cripple the Protoss player. It's simply a matter of the cannon rush hitting hard and fast, and he's going for that same spot that he went for earlier, but he doesn't go for the full wall off this time. Okay. What Rocker's got to do is he's got to pull off a little maneuver here where he puts distance between him, and he's done it. You got to pull an SCV in front. Pull an SCV in front. Gumiho, are you awake? Hello? Gumiho, that was so obvious what he was going for there. Gumiho, with zero respect for the cannon rush, he's not even pulling SCVs even now. All he needed to do was keep an SCV up here and one up here, and he could have blocked this from going down. Yes, he'd lose a bit of mining time, but come on, man. Oh my God. Why has he cancelled the pylons? Huge mistake by Rocker. He needs to build another pylon there. Rocker, for some reason, cancels both of the pylons and only rebuilds one. This should be a free win. And instead, he cancels them. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Now the SCVs can attack the cannon. I mean, it's still going to get quite a few kills, especially as he builds more cannons up there. He's got a cannon at home in his mineral line as well. The Reaper's going to pop out soon. That pylon gets cancelled. He is going to wall in another cannon. So in a way, is he baiting Gumiho into standing and fighting? Was this actually a 300 IQ move from Rocker? Oh my God, the SCVs! The SCVs aren't getting the kills. You're kidding me. And the pylon blocks it. Oh my God. It was the perfect bait. I thought it was dangerous, but it was the perfect bait. Oh, and Gumiho was so shook by it that he lets his Reaper run into the cannon. He rallies his Reaper into the cannon and loses that as well. He's now already lost 8 SCVs. He's going to float to the natural. Wait, Rocker. Rocker could block this, though. As Gumiho, does Gumiho know about this move? Everyone on NA does this, and he does it. Rocker comes in with the double pylon block just to force the command center to not be able to land. He says, I have a full base mining, you don't. Every delay here is just beautiful. He can now cancel those pylons as well. A factory starts building here, but that is so awkward. A new Reaper has come out. It's killed a single probe, but a second cannon's about to finish up. He does not want to lose this Reaper. He actually lets the pylons finish. I do think that's a bit of a waste of money there for Rocker, but he's just like, whatever, dude. I am disrupting the heck out of you. The Reaper does not die, but there's a Cyber Core up. So we've got one full mineral line and 2 guys on gas. Should be a third one as well. He's going to build a gateway there. Remember, he's still got a gateway up here as well. And we've got what? A barracks is just kind of building Marines right now. There's a probe scouting for any other hidden bases. A factory is going to be going down. I guess he could build Cyclones or Hellions here. The problem for Gumiho is, I mean, your income just sucks. Look how awkward this mining is right now. He's trying to clear it with 2 of his SCVs, which absolutely should just be mining minerals because he desperately needs every mineral he can get. I mean, having to rebuild a gas from scratch, he's so gas starved. So Gumiho's got a tech lab factory, but he doesn't even have enough gas to keep up that factory production very well. And it looks like Rocker already starting another proxy on the right side. He's got Adepts coming out here as well. He's got a Chrono Adepts. He's taking another Gas Geyser at home. And he's getting more gateways. So he's going up to 3 gate. Adept's going to come on in. There is a Marine here, but an Adept easily beats a Marine. And he could maybe pick off some of these SCVs as well. That red hit point SCV and a Marine already both going down. The Adept shading on out of there. Now, he should be careful or the Cyclone could take him out. But that's still very annoying for his opponent to deal with. The Stalker up there as well. He could maybe kill this supply depot. Just got to be careful. Don't want to be losing any of these units. You can always run over here and hide behind the cannons. Cyclone is arriving, though. This Adept's going to try to punish him. So as the Cyclone and those units run up to deal with the Stalker, the Adept's going to run in and kill some SCVs. Stalker's trying to get out of there. If Gumiho can keep vision, he can kill it. Oh, barely gets out of vision and breaks that. But the Adept is here right now. The Adept does decide to shade to safety, though. Doesn't want to lose that bad boy. And you can see the Cyclone and the Marine here guarding this depot on the high ground. Gumiho's supply block, though, waiting for that second depot to finish. The Reaper is going to survive. It looks like a nice pick off. Gumiho, very well done. On the other hand, for some reason, Rocker is building a Nexus here. The barracks of Gumiho is floating. He's not even using it to build any more Marines. I mean, he's got to be building more units, surely. But he's just building Cyclones one at a time right now. He's going to try and depower the gateway. Stalkers at home are going to start to take this out. We've got a Twilight Council coming up, so it's going to be a sort of like 1.5 base blink transition, I guess, here for Rocker. And that Warp Gate is transforming. It looks like, did he? Oh, he recalled. This is the Stalker, guys. He recalled that one home, did Rocker. You can see that his recall is actually not ready for another 100 seconds. Now, there is a problem with that, and in that I think he would like to recall probes to this base over here, and he's not going to be able to. So using it to save the Stalker kind of bites him in the butt there. Having 30 probes on one base, not ideal. I guarantee you he's going to like click on that, go to recall, and then realize, oh crap, I can't even do that, can I? So bit awkward there. +1, Blink Stalker's still just building up. Obviously losing his gateways there, so he's building a new third gateway at home. But Blink Stalker's against a Terran who doesn't even have a reactor on a barracks. It's just floating home now. He's trying to build siege tanks, maybe going to get a Banshee out of the starport, and very limited information. Oh, he finds the expansion. That's nice. We'll get at least one probe here. Could kill the other one as it pops out as well. Stalkers will be able to come and defend it in the near future. Good cancel from Rocker. Third gateway's up. Blink and +1 still miles away. But I just don't see any safety mechanisms getting out for Gumiho. He's going to get a Raven because he's worried about DTs. He's got a siege tank right now and a couple of Cyclones, but whoa, watch out. You don't want to lose that Cyclone, man. Oh, he loses a Cyclone and a Reaper. Every unit is sacred for Gumiho. Losing that is a disaster. I mean, what's he going to do? He's going to try and wall off with a new barracks and this barracks and get his like tank wedged in the back. That's kind of cute there. But he just doesn't have the damage output, surely. The Stalkers are just going to walk on in. Oh my god, they're just going to one-shot these units. The Cyclone goes down. The tank's going to get two-shot. Nice surround with the SCVs. I got to say, the Drilly Boys are going to get a bit of revenge. They surround 4 or 5 of these Stalkers. They should be able to kill at least a few of these. Looks like one more of those does get out. But having killed one of the few units, it's so huge. Oh, the Stalkers go a bit deep, but Mass Repair! Mass Repair saves it! Oh, big boy repair there for Gumiho. Rocker maybe getting a little bit aroused a bit too quickly there. More Stalkers are coming in, though. Gumiho needs to keep repairing that. He's going to try and siege the tank up. The problem is this factory's out in the middle of nowhere. And he's only got one tank and what? Marines? Unupgraded Marines building right now. He's got almost no money to work with. +1 is now finished. Blink is going to be kicking in. This Marine is going to wander past and get itself killed, most likely. The Stalkers can see it. The Marine's just there like, oi, leave my factory alone. The Stalkers ignoring that completely. And they should be able to kill this tank when it pops. Tank pops out. Okay. Gets a volley off and a second volley. Well done. And he blinks backwards. He can let those shields regen with blink out on one base versus a 2 base Protoss. Gumiho knows he's screwed. And dude, I just got to say, once again, zero respect for the Cannon Rush. And this is why pros are so bad against Cannon Rush, guys. It feels to me like they are always afraid of like overcommitting to the defense, getting faked out and like getting behind by default. And I gotta say, the worst thing you guys on the ladder can learn is trying to play it the way the pros do, because let's be real, they just don't get cannon rushed that much. And when they do, it's often not executed all that well. I look at this, I say there's 2 key areas where he could make a cage, a little area for those cannons here and here, as long as I have an SCV patrolling in both of those. And especially here, if you're blocking this spot and this spot, you keep this avenue and this avenue. You keep those pathways open so he can't do this sort of wall off. And you can always at least then pull your boys and get in there and stop him from getting it up. Now, I think this was kind of controversial what Rocker did with the cancel on these pylons. I mean, that to me seems like just unnecessarily risky. Why bother canceling them both? Maybe cancel one of them and then rebuild it, but there's no reason why you should have canceled that, in my opinion. On the other hand, because Gumiho decides to still just pull a few SCVs at a time and not block the other side, he's still disrespecting the follow-up, not even attacking the probe. We see that once again, he's like, hey, you got to pull your SCVs this way, and if you do that, I'll build pylons in front of it. And Gumiho's reactions are just so slow and half-assed here. And I mean, this was just, obviously, I don't think Rocker could have calculated this, but he basically ends up just having this perfect response. The probe there helping, because if it gets one hit on an SCV, it gets it within 2 hits of death, right? It assisted on 2 of those kills there, walls it off, and that was just super sick. I wonder what's going to happen. I really feel like Rocker could just do the exact same thing again. Neither Gumiho, and definitely not Creator in the previous series, who, remember, if Gumiho didn't, if Rocker didn't screw up in the second game, that should have been a 2-0. I think he can go into game 3, do another cannon rush. Gumiho has not shown that he knows how to respond to this. All right, guys, let's go into game 3 to decide it. And let's see if an ex-GSL champion, a very high-level Korean Pro Terran, can defend the cheese of Rocker. Rocker's already sending a probe across the map straight away. He's got a pylon there. And both of these, once again, Gumiho's going for a proxy barracks. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. They run into each other, so he knows he's getting cannon rushed. Now, he says, oh, my proxy barracks has been spotted, so he's changed his SCV path. He's going to go put his barracks in a more conservative position. But the real problem here is still the incoming cannon rush. That's what you've got to deal with. So Gumiho just needs to focus on shutting down the cannon rush. He does not need to focus on his own aggression. A forge is on the way right now. The probe comes in. Gumiho, once again, might be one of these players who's like, oh, you might just be faking me out. He's going double gas right now. Okay, all right, this is really obvious, guys. We've talked about it. Cage here is a low probability here, but most importantly down there. Get at least 1 SCV on the low ground, get 2 or 3 attacking the pylon, 1 attacking that probe, and when you see another probe come in, or when you see him let this pylon finish and him try to start other buildings, that's when you can just pull all the boys and absolutely shut it down. He's doing nothing to respond right now. Rocker is going to go for a cannon and a pylon there. But, oh, he gets blocked from the other one. Okay, he does get that one, which means that cannon should actually get some pretty decent damage. I mean, 2 SCVs are attacking it. I don't actually know how many hit points that's going to survive with. He needs to get down to the low ground and build more cannons ASAP. He's already taking a long time to get this going. Gumiho is just going to give it up, though, and let him get it up. Oh, Gumiho, not respecting this at all. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm just going to build a factory. So Gumiho is saying, oh, it's fine. I'm going to let you cannon rush me. I'm just going to like maybe float away, but I'm going to have like a tank or a cyclone. I'm just going to kill you with that. That absolutely should not work because he's going to have so few units. He's not even building Reapers. He's building Marines, which means even the probes could defend this for Rocker behind this. And look how quickly he's going to shut down Gumiho's mining. Already losing a depot, which is going to supply block him. He's trying to build another depot up in the top left of the map. But look, he's going to have cannons in range of the whole mineral line and the gas in no time. Gumiho here with an absolutely ridiculous response. He's going to try and pull the SCVs out now. Okay, so he's pulling the SCVs away and he'll lift off the command center soon. But Rocker with the 300 IQ move, pylon blocks the SCVs. Oh my god, okay. There is a small weakness, guys. That pylon's exposed. If Rocker cancels this, builds a cannon there, and then re-walls, he wins the game. There is nothing Gumiho can do. He's got to build a cannon there, though. Where's his cannon? Okay, he cancels the wall and rebuilds it. Guys, he's got to just build a cannon. Rocker is making a massive brain fart right now by not building a cannon here. And Gumiho is going to realize, wait a second, I can attack that pylon without you hitting me. And if he can break this pylon down, he can get out behind this. Rocker is not really transitioned. He's only just started gas. And wait, this is his first gateway. He's taken so long to transition. Despite this, Gumiho, unable to get out of this base. Imagine if he built that cannon, guys. That would already be finished, killing SCVs by now. But Rocker's investing even more here. He still hasn't built a cybercore at home because his gateway is so late, nor got a second gas. He's got way too many probes. Rocker got excited here. And what should have been, I believe, an absolute instant win, because there would be no money for Gumiho. What's Gumiho got? He's got 2 Marines, 1 Siege Tank, 1 SCV. He would have nothing other than that, no income. And all of that, do you know what, guys? It dies to probes. But that is if he realizes. Right now, I don't think Rocker realizes what's happening. Rocker is missing the vision. So maybe he can get a bunker up. Okay, so he's going to build a bunker there. All you need to do is pull probes to defend this. He pulls some. Now he sees the tank, but the tank is very hard to get to down there, and it's going to do crazy splash damage. Watch out. Oh, no. You need to pull a lot more probes than that. If you want to take this down, you need to grab every probe right now, pull them down this way, and then go down. The problem is, of course, the fact that the tank is going to do massive splash damage. Once it's sieged up, you're in big trouble. The cannon goes down. This is huge damage. Meanwhile, though, Rocker's not done. He's got a Zealot coming in from the other side of the map. That's going to come in and start tearing down the SCVs right now. Gumiho has made this game so hard for himself. off by just disrespecting the initial cannon rush. The Zealot there already denying mining on the whole base, but there's nothing at home for Rocker. He builds a Stargate here. He's got Zealots popping out. The Zealot's going to get surrounded. How many kills can it take down? He's going to focus down at least a couple of SCVs. He's already wasted a good amount of mining time, gets 2 SCVs and a ton of mining time, but already more Marines, more SCVs are being built behind it. That cannon will go down as well. The Hellion is here also, which means the probes are all going to go down. Oh, this is so bad for Rocker. He's just trying to get any money that he can. A new Zealot does arrive. He's trying to tear up Gumiho's economy. Rocker here doing massive damage. Gumiho not responding just yet. Even if he moves his SCVs now, that Zealot's going to kill the vast majority of them. Oh, and he pulls to the minerals, and another Zealot arrives. Oh, great micro by Rocker, but his entire economy is gone. He starts a Void Ray, guys, but he didn't quite get enough minerals and gas for another Void Ray. He queues up a Void Ray and a Phoenix. So what do we got? 2 Zealots and a Void Ray and a Phoenix up against 4 Marines, 5 Marines now. And a Cyclone is going to pop out. Oh, and he's building more Marines. So Gumiho, able to mine way more money, is going to be able to deal with that potentially. It's still going to be kind of close, but if he can just keep getting any mining at all, he's got to move this command zone. He's going to try and land up there, and he can just keep adding to that Marine count. He'll get enough units to deal with it. The Phoenix, if it can catch the Cyclone on its own, pick it up, and kill it with the Void Ray, then maybe his Void Ray can overwhelm while the Marine count's still low. It can pick them off, regen its shields, that sort of thing. Right now, though, it looks like the Zealots are going to go down. He does land 1 hit, which is nice. But the Void Ray on its own, where is it? Here we go. Void Ray and Phoenix are here. He definitely can kill the Cyclone. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. He gets the Cyclone. Oh my God, the Cyclone was the most important unit. That just gets blasted down by the Void Ray Phoenix combo. Now the Phoenix is useless until it gets more energy, as there's nothing here that it can really fight against. But the SCVs have mined out a lot more. We've got the barracks floating back. Up to 7 Marines versus a Void Ray. And Marines, they might not have stim or anything, but a Void Ray is going to struggle to deal with this. The Void Ray and the Phoenix are flying around looking for the bases. His Rocker right now, he realizes he must be here, and he does find this expansion. The Void Ray is going to tear up this SCV line. Gumiho here in a crazy base trade scenario after just disrespecting the cannon rush, not defending correctly at all, letting it go up completely for free. I mean, this is just classic pro gamers being too lazy to send even just 1 or 2 SCVs to block those cannon paths from going up. And especially when you're favored against an amateur player, it seems crazy against the guy who you know is a cannon rush expert from the previous games. But look at this, keeping the command center alive. As long as he floats back to the bunker will protect him. Loses a bunch of SCVs, but he knows that his opponent's not mining, so he's totally fine. He's like, yeah, I know you're not mining. Like, what can you possibly do here? A Void Ray and a Phoenix can't beat me. I've got 7 Marines. Once I build these depots, I'll start building more Marines, Widow Mines, and there's no way. The Phoenix comes in and picks up 1 Marine, but the Void Ray, I don't know if that's the right way to micro it. You gotta get out of there. I think Rocker knows he's just too outnumbered. He kills a Marine, doesn't even get a second one, and that's gonna be that. GG, well played. A very impressive showing from Rocker, but once again, you've got to look at this and say, hey, as the Terran player, should I maybe not be so afraid as the pro player of the fake cannon rush, and just, if someone sends a probe across at the very start of the game and builds a pylon in their base, should it maybe compute in your brain that the opponent's build is shit? If they're doing a fake, they've already committed a lot of money. You're like, oh, they get 75 minerals back. Guys, what about opportunity cost? You're going to be chronoing probes the whole early game, taking your gases on time, your gateway on time, while also sending a probe across the map at the very start and building a pylon? Heck no, it does not cost that much to defend this, guys. Get an SCV on the low ground, get an SCV on the high ground, and I really hope pros start respecting this more. This series was way too close for comfort. As I said, if we fast forward here, if Rocker had just built a cannon here, those SCVs never would have escaped this base, and the Void Ray would have absolutely potentially been able to win the game. There would not have been all these extra Marines. There would have been like no Cyclone. There would have just been like 2 Marines and a siege tank. Remember, that's all there was. If he's not able to get these SCVs out, what extra money does he have here? None. None. If there was a cannon here killing these SCVs this whole time, Gumiho's screwed. I love the genius of trapping him inside the main base, but you got to remember that Rocker did that while taking forever to actually invest in this gateway. This gateway could have been down a minute and a half earlier. If he doesn't block him in here and he just says, oh, just forcing him to evacuate and move bases is enough, well, guess what? The other way Rocker could have won, what if at 2 minutes he puts a gateway down? At this point, you've already got a cannon going up in range of his base. Why not? I mean, first of all, why are we probing? 20 probes is more than enough. Why not cancel that probe, build it probably after one more cannon. Get one more cannon and then just build a gateway here as well, because you need the gateway to unlock the cyber core, to unlock building stalkers or void rays or all that other stuff. You don't need these extra pylons. There's no defense at home. So Rocker absolutely could have transitioned minutes earlier. At about 2 minutes, he could have had the gateway down, and that's still, I think, a conservative estimate. He ends up getting the gateway down at about 2 minutes 40. And you can see here, as good as he is, Rocker is not a pro. He's not playing perfect. He's playing well in a messy situation. But Gumiho looks like an amateur up against this rush, as did Creator, and they're not alone. And this is not a Korean thing. This is not just these two players thing. I really do believe that there is a lot of room for pros to smash with cannon rushes. We saw Parting do it for quite a long time and have so much success for like 6 months, until specifically against Parting, we would see players actually block the cannon spots and be really paranoid about it. But for some reason, he was the only player at pro level who really invested in getting good at cannon rushes. And as a result, he was the only player who garnered that respect. So guys, if you're a GM cheesy cannon rush player, bring out your best cannon rushes versus pros. You've got a very decent chance of surprising them in these tournaments. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you guys in the next one. A special thanks, of course, to all of our patrons. You guys know who you are. Colonel SC, Jacob G, and Modern Totem especially. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Click on some of the other videos on the screen, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, and good night.